जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna and welcome back. Thank you for joining. Today we are discussing verse number 32 of chapter number 2 from Srimad Bhagavad Gita. And previously, Krishna, after explaining to Arjuna that Arjuna and all the other warriors who were assembled in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, including Bhishma and Drona, they are not this body, but all of them are eternal soul. So we are also eternal souls. We all are individual and eternal souls, and we do not die after the death of this body. So how do we act on the understanding that we are not this body? So Krishna explains that we have two sets of duties. One on the platform of body and second on the platform of soul. So duties on the platform of body is temporary because body is temporary. And similarly, duties on the platform of soul, they are eternal because the soul is eternal. So there are two types of swadharma. Swadharma means one's own specific duty. So the swadharma on the platform of body is also called as varnashrama dharma. And since Arjuna is a Kshatriya, there is no better engagement for Arjuna than fighting on the religious principle. So this is what is explained in verse number 31. And he means Arjuna should not hesitate to fight this war. So that is the instruction given by Krishna in verse number 31. Now why should Arjuna not hesitate is explained in verse number 32. So let's read verse number 32, chapter 2, verse number 32. The Sanskrit is Yadrichaya chopapannam swargadvaram apavritam sukhina kshatriya partha labhante yuddham idrisham. So the translation is, O Partha, happy are the Kshatriyas to whom such fighting opportunities come unsought, opening for them the doors of heavenly planets. So let's read the Sanskrit again. Yad ichchaya chopapannam. What does it mean? The first line. So yad ichchaya means by the course of nature or by its own accord. Chopapannam means arrived. So what has arrived? By its own course. So if by the arrangement of nature, if the war has appeared, then that kind of war opens the door to heaven. So that is line number 2 or B. Swargadwaram apavritam. Swargadwaram apavritam means that kind of war, which is a religious war, when it comes on its own nature or by its own arrangement, that actually opens door for the heaven. For whom? So that is the third line. Sukhina kshatriya partha. So for the kshatriyas who will be engaging in this kind of war, that has come on its own accord. So partha, they are very, very happy. Because the fourth line, labhante yuddham idrisham. So fourth line says, because all of them actually want to attain heaven. All the kshatriyas want to attain the heaven. So how can they attain heaven? So there are two options. One option is they lead a life of dharma and punya. When they do punya, then they can go to the heavenly planet. Or the second way to attain heavenly planet is opportunity to fight a dharmic war. And when the Kshatriyas fight in the dharmic war, then they can get a heaven if they are killed in this war. So a dharmic war is an opportunity where the doors to the heaven are open. So Kshatriyas should be happy. And Krishna is saying, you are getting this glorious opportunity. So this is Krishna telling to Arjuna. So this is the Swarga Dwara which is getting opened when the Kshatriya gets an opportunity to fight in the dharmic war. Now we may wonder why Krishna is glorifying Swarga over here. So far, from our philosophy, we have understood that the spiritual happiness is the topmost, like going to Vaikuntha Loka or Goloka is our aspiration. So why Krishna is glorifying heavenly planet over here? This is because Krishna is taking the journey in Bhagavad Gita step by step. So far Krishna has not talked about the concept of liberation in Bhagavad Gita. So Krishna in this verse is talking about if a person is aspiring for material enjoyment, still one should get material enjoyment by practicing dharma. So the Mahabharata mainly focuses on karma kanda. What is karma kanda? Do your dharma. It is basically, karma kanda is regulated sense gratification. We discussed this point in the previous session. So Mahabharata mainly focuses on karma kanda, and the process of karma kanda is do your dharma to get artha and kama. So when you perform dharma, means religious duties or specific duties based on your varna and ashrama, then you get artha. Artha means material wealth, and kama means sense gratification. So bhakti and moksha, they are all higher principles, and they are only given in the purport by the acharyas. So right now in this verse, Krishna is taking Arjuna through a journey, step by step journey. And when it is the step by step journey is discussed, it starts with the lower level. So the lower level is the karma kanda, and karma kanda means once again you perform your dharma, and when you perform your dharma properly, then you get artha and kama, and you may also get opportunity to go to the heavenly planets where you can enjoy more. So this is an opportunity for the Kshatriyas, that when they get an opportunity by its own accord, and they are happy to perform such fight, because if they lose and if they die, they still get opportunity to go to the heavenly planets. So let's see what Srila Prabhupada has to say in the purport. So the first point Prabhupada is saying is, Lord Krishna condemns Arjuna's attitude. So Arjuna's attitude is so far that he doesn't want to participate in this war because he will not be able to enjoy. So over here, as the supreme teacher of the world, Lord Krishna condemns the attitude of Arjuna, who said, I do not find any good in this fighting. It will cause perpetual habitation in the hell. So this is the statement given by Arjuna in chapter 1, verse 43. And he is saying that, he will be suffering in the hell. But Krishna is giving the complete opposite argument, that no, if you fight in this war and if you win this earthly kingdom. But if you lose and if you die, then you go to heavenly planets. So in both the cases, it is beneficial for you. Such statements by Arjuna were due to ignorance only. So Arjuna didn't understand this philosophy. That's why Krishna is explaining him. He wanted to become non-violent in the discharge of his specific duties. For Kshatriya to be on the battlefield and to become non-violent is a philosophy of fool, because the role of Kshatriya is to protect, and that we discussed in the previous verse. Kshatriya means he is basically his duty is to protect the citizens from the evils. So here Arjuna's duty was to eliminate all these evil-minded sons of Dhritarashtra, Duryodhana and his party, and then re-establish dharma. And this is also the will of the Lord. So he must act and perform his duty. Now what is the duties of the Kshatriya? So that is given by Parashar Muni in the Parashara Smriti, or religious codes made by Parashara. Parashara is a father of Vyasdev, the great sage and father of Vyasdev. It is stated that Kshatriyo hi praja rakshan shastrapane pradandayan nirjitya सैन्यधैः क्षितिं धर्मेण palayet. The Kshatriya's duty is to protect the citizen from all kinds of difficulties, and for that he has to apply violence in suitable cases for law and order. Therefore, he has to conquer the soldiers of inimical kings, and thus with religious principle he should rule over the world. So this is the duties of the Kshatriya. He has to protect the citizen from all kind of difficulties. Because in the Vedic system, the role of Kshatriya is to establish peace and harmony in the society, so then they can actually focus on their spiritual needs. If there is no peace, then the spiritual needs will not be taken care. But that is the main or the center or the goal of all the systems, all the Vedic systems. Now, Prabhupada says fighting is beneficial both ways. So considering all aspects, Arjuna had no reason to refrain from fighting. If he should conquer his enemies, he would enjoy the kingdom, and if he dies in the battle, he would be elevated to the heavenly planets, whose doors were wide open for him. Fighting would be for his benefit in either case. So in either case, if he loses, he goes to the heavenly planet because the door he got killed while performing his duty, so he will be elevated to the heavenly planet. But if he wins, he will win the earthly kingdom. So this is the theme from verse 31 to 38, and then that is gradually developed by Lord Sri Krishna. So Lord Krishna describes how performing Swadharma would be beneficial for Arjuna. So in the first 31st verse, which was the previous verse, Krishna is saying, considering Arjuna's specific duty, Swadharma, as a Kshatriya, because Arjuna was born as a Kshatriya and he was trained as a Kshatriya. What was his specific duty? And the specific duty was to engage in Dharma Yuddha. And there is no better engagement than fighting on the religious principles. So there is no need of hesitation. And then in this verse, which is 32nd verse, Kshatriya who is in the mode of passion must be violent. In order to fight a war, one has to be violent, particularly the Kshatriyas, and they are trained to do that. So they must be violent, and they will be protecting the society, and that is their discharging of their duty. And while discharging their duty, if they die performing their duty, then they are elevated to the heavenly planet. So that's why Kshatriyas are very happy. So the opportunity to fight in a righteous war is the golden opportunity for all the Kshatriyas. If they win the earthly kingdom. If they lose, they go to the heavenly planet. And if they do not perform their duty, so that is explained in the next verse. If they don't perform, what happens? So that we'll discuss in the next session. So these are the discussion that has happened in the purport. So you can go over it, and we'll stop here. Thank you so much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Gaur Premanande Haribol.